Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It's Coffee Ann on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Monday morning. It's March 11th. And it's cloudy outside, although I'm starting to see some bright blue between the clouds, so that's good, and 33 degrees. I'm Joe Callahan. You've been hearing Dave Richards talk. Hi, Dave.
Hi there.
And Melissa Murray is here. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning, everyone.
All right. The first three things we're going to talk about is sports, Melissa. So you ready?
Yay.
Well, maybe she could pour herself a cup of coffee.
She
you
is,
know what? This is every time I will
But
pour myself a cup of coffee.
it's not really. Well, before you do that,
Sure.
the first thing is Rhode Island College women's basketball lost last Friday, which is too bad. They lost to William and Lee at a college out of Virginia. They were ranked 9th in the nation. Rick was ranked third. Final score was 61-55. So that ends their season at 29-1.
Still amazing.
Just a great year for the women at Rhode Island College women's basketball.
Yeah,
so congratulations to them. But you probably heard over the weekend is that the Patriots are trying to trade Mac Jones. Did you hear that over the weekend?
No.
That was the big news story, big sports story yesterday. However, it's not official yet.
Okay, so don't get too excited.
There's something in the rule book that says you can't start trading until Wednesday, the 13th, because that's the new NFL year.
Okay.
It begins on Wednesday. So we can't do any trades until then. But this was in the works.
The new season
starts. And it's ready. It's the new year. Yeah. So they're ready to go. They're ready to pull the trigger. So Mac, will go have a physical to make sure he's in shape enough for Jacksonville to say, okay, we'll take him on. And once he passes that, and he should, then it'll be a done deal. And Mac will be gone. And it's good for him. It's good for him to get out of here. He goes back to his hometown. He's from Florida.
But not only
I know you're
that,
very sad.
He'll be playing with a bunch of other guys who are probably looking forward to seeing him.
Yes.
Where no matter what he did in Boston, he was going to be, oh, geez, it's not Tom.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And there are no expectations from him down there. And the Patriots, it's not a great deal for them. They get a 6th-round draft pick, but hey, you never know who they could get on it.
You can swap 6th-round draft picks for something else.
They could trade that away as well. So
yeah.
we'll see what they do with that. So it's really a win-win-win for everybody, because if he stayed here, people are just going to get angrier and angrier and angrier with it if he played lousy. So it's a good thing all the way around. All right, the other sports story goes on, and this is not a good one, and it's bad when these things happen at high school basketball games where fights break out and bad things happen.
Yeah.
Over the weekend in North Providence,
yeah.
at a youth basketball game,
These are like
coaches,
5 to 7-year-old kids playing.
Yes, the 2 coaches got into an argument, and then somehow a parent got involved. All 3 of them were arrested, not just leave.
Right.
Handcuffs.
It started with a call that was disputed.
Yeah, someone was mad about the call. But that's the point. It's bad enough when it's high school. The kids are 5 to 7 years old.
Right.
What is the matter with you parents? What is the matter with them?
Yeah. And what example are you setting?
Oh, it's awful.
Awful.
And are the kids having any fun?
Well, not when they're not playing.
Well,
because the
that's
cops
right,
are
it's
putting
fine.
handcuffs on everybody.
Well,
Right, which is scary for them, and they're like, what is going on?
It probably has to be, that's 3 dads got arrested. And
everybody but the dumb official that made a bad call.
I played youth sports growing up, baseball and hockey. Never an issue.
No one was ever arrested.
No one was ever arrested. The cops were never called.
Right.
They were never there.
No fisticuffs.
There were no fisticuffs between the players or the coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the people who are the adults now, what were they? They were barely born by the time you were playing out there as a youth. I'm just trying to say.
Say that again.
That society has changed.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
So you lived in a different era. I lived in a different era.
Yes.
Melissa probably lived in a different era from the 2 of us.
But the problem is now is that the coaches now, who are probably younger than us, you know, they only went so far in their sporting career and it ends. It just happens.
Right.
And now they're trying to get their young child to do better than they did. So they're
Well,
pushing
that
them
might be the
at
case
such an
sometimes.
early age.
That
Play
might
better,
be the
play
case
better, play better.
sometimes.
And
There's a lot of good families out there that just say, we want to make this available to you. Oh, you don't like it? Okay, no problem. Let's do something else. Have you ever considered the flute?
yeah.
Oh no,
know, but,
that brings
you know,
back
parents
terrible
are always-
memories for me.
Parents are trying to open up new vistas and new passive experience to the kids. I know I did. And heck, I mean, playing music came easy to me when I was a young guy. And I took up the trumpet, and it's like the 5th grade or something like that. And, you know, you're playing. You get into the band, but they need a baritone horn, so you switch over to baritone horn. They need a tuba, you switch over to the tuba. You know, this is what happened to me, and it was all good. I had a whale of a good time. In fact, there were times where band was what I looked forward to most in my school day, because it was what I really liked. And we weren't even playing music I liked. I just liked playing in the band. I liked playing my instrument and stuff like that. So
But
Nicole comes along.
It's different with the sports, though, Dave.
Nicole comes along, and so she's interested in art and stuff like that. Kind of interested in sports, but she's not good at it either. I wasn't good at it. I was on the track team. How much talent does it take to be on it? It's all mental, you know. And I had a brain, so I could be on the track team. But I didn't excel in any of that stuff. But I did. I was on it. So anyway. She asked about music, and what do you want to do? I don't know what I want to do. Let's try a few things. And she ended up getting a degree in music. She could teach music. She has a degree for it. You know?
All right.
And I'm saying, at one point, she kept asking me, because music came easy to me. I could, like, ad-lib things, sight read, no trouble. And part of what she had to do in school, Joe, was to write down the notes she heard. Wasn't easy
difficult.
for Nicole.
Yeah.
And she would say, Dad, what are these notes? And I tell her what the notes were and stuff like that. And she said, oh yeah, good. Well, she got the knack of it after, but I gave her 10 fingers up on the thing because it was easy for me. We spent a lot of time doing stuff like that. But she went so far beyond what I learned in school.
But it's bad with these 5 to 7 year old basketball players because obviously the call is going against one team.
Yeah.
And now the ref is not the ref. The coach is going to yell at the ref that that was against my team, and now little Johnny here, who's looking to play up to keep getting better. Now you're ruining his chances to play up. That's what they're really arguing about. You're hurting me and my players from playing better. With better kids.
Well, it's wrong. You got to teach.
It is wrong.
You got to teach your kids
How to lose.
That's right.
Yeah.
But and how to deal with
Losing.
situations that aren't necessarily right or wrong, but gray area. If you don't teach them how to deal with the gray area, then there's going to be nothing but Israelis and Egyptians all the time. You know, it's the way it's going to be. You know, everybody's going to be in their own camp, and the other side's wrong. From the beginning by birth. That's just awful, and it doesn't move society along. So you shouldn't be teaching. Those are bad examples. Because
terrible.
I mean, most important thing I ever taught my daughter was how to deal with bad teachers.
Yeah.
I said, you've got to deal with them, and this is your experience, and this is your life's lesson. This is how you deal with them. You've got to get out of this grade, get into the next grade, and get better teachers.
You can always say, well, these guys shouldn't coach anymore. But there's also a lack of coaches. There's a lack of everything. It seems.
Right, and
Well,
you have to be able to
this?
deal with different personalities.
Yeah.
What
That's
was
life.
What was that famous quote? It wasn't St. Francis of Assisi. It was another one. Maybe it was. Knowing the difference between things you can change and things you cannot.
Oh.
Was it?
Give me the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who actually said it first.
Yeah, if you can teach your kids that, they're going to have a happier life.
So speaking of that, a note came in.
Or they'll become Rhode Island state senators.
766-1240.
And just change everything.
There was a brawl at a women's college basketball game yesterday. I did not see this. South Carolina and LSU had their championship game, and it just says, my goodness. So I don't know if the brawl was on the floor or up in the stands or a little bit of both, but it's like, boy, you're taking your life in your hands. Go watch a sporting event.
Yeah, everyone is
These
so
days, it's just-
volatile these days.
You gotta
Politics,
win.
sports,
Gotta win.
everything. Right, I
So,
know. I'm right, you're wrong.
yeah, and it's pretty bad when they're 5 and 7
Yeah,
year olds.
5 and 7.
Just let them run around.
Right, they just want to play.
They do. They just. You're right. They just want to play. One of our news stories this morning, and Melissa, I don't know if you agree with this one. U.S. Congressman from Massachusetts. Every year he comes up and says this. Ed Markey. You probably agree. He wants daylight savings time to be permanent.
That'd be amazing.
It's the Sunshine Protection Act. Oh, doesn't that sound nice?
That sounds so good.
Doesn't that sound lovely?
We're going to
Yeah.
protect the
We're
sunshine
going to protect the sunshine.
against those evildoers.
It's all about
Can't you hear
branding.
the Brady kids singing in the background?
Oh, no,
You gotta
that
give me
was-
some of those
no.
praise.
No.
So along with him in Florida, which makes
Ludicrous,
sense.
yes.
Florida Senator Marco Rubio. Well,
Yeah,
that makes
right,
sense.
yeah. Well, Rubio is he's a bit of a clown these days anyway, so
this
he'd
would
go
end-
right along with it, wouldn't he?
This would end the practice of turning the clocks back an hour every November. We'll just
Yeah.
keep it the way it is.
We'd still
Right.
push him forward in the spring, but we wouldn't put him back
We
in
just
November.
keep pushing them forward a year every
Yeah.
year.
So the sun will rise at noon.
After 5 years, it would.
Yeah.
The proposal was passed by the Senate in 2022, but died in the House. So we got to just keep bringing it back.
Sometimes it takes a few years for things to get through.
Well, this is
What nobody gets here, Joe,
What's that?
is that standard time is the original time coordinated with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Coordinated with the rest of the world, and every 15 degrees of longitude, you change an hour's worth, because that's how it's 24 different time zones, and so it's all divided up. That the planet is divided up that way, and so this system works for 150 years. Until some bozo says, I don't like how late the sun's coming up in the morning. I think we'll just change it. With a law, it doesn't change. All it does is make you look ignorant, and you're not getting along with the rest of the world that's living by those rules.
Arizona doesn't change it.
Yeah. Well, Arizona,
But otherwise it would be early.
Arizona, and
It'd be-
Hawaii.
Yeah, right.
Hawaii, there's no consequences for Hawaii, because
Right.
Hawaii doesn't abut any other state.
Yeah. For Arizona, it would be like 100 degrees in the summer at like 5 in the morning. So they don't
why-
want to change it.
This comes up every now and then. Why don't we just change time zones, and we'll join the maritime.
Oh, it comes up every once in a while, yeah. The Atlantic time
We
zone
should join the Atlantic time zone. That's right.
is an hour and a half ahead of us.
Okay. Let's just join
That half hour is going to cause trouble.
It's that 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Mass wanted to do it. It was a few years ago.
Oh,
They said, let's
gosh.
join that. But Mass wouldn't do it, but wanted to do it, but like Rhode Island and New Hampshire wouldn't. Imagine how crazy that would be.
No,
us
that
on the
would,
border.
no. Yeah, no one would ever be on time for anything.
Yeah, that's right.
Imagine how pathetic
You chop
the
it
rest
back
of the
and forth.
world would look upon
Oh,
us.
it would be awful. It would have to be the entire, all of New England or the whole East Coast would have to
Oh,
join,
geez,
or
that's
none of us do it. So.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're going to take our first break here on the Coffee and Program. More coming your
Messing
way.
with the rules of nature.
766-1240 if you want to send in a comment and or a question to the Coffee and Panel. At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated. By the year 2020, that figure rose to 56%. The Cremation Association of America projects that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at woonsocketradio.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here, along with Melissa Murray and Dave Richards. So I just saw pictures of this, and I don't know what happened. Maybe the two of you can fill me in. But the fire truck that crashed in West Warwick into the West Warwick fire station.
Oh no, I hadn't heard
Did
about
you
that.
did you see that?
No.
Yeah. And I'm wondering,
What do you do?
How is this? I don't know. I just saw pictures of it.
Oh, I see.
With the house, the firefighters had to leave while they decide whether or not the building can stand up or not.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that
wow.
that happened to a little degree here a few years ago, where a truck was either pulling in or backing out, and the door was open, and damage to the fire truck and damage to the station on Cumberland Street, and they had to repair it. But meanwhile, they couldn't use that bay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a large vehicle.
I'm
There's-
looking at so Channel 12's website has the story. All right, a West Warwick fire station, which is on Main Street in West Warwick, is temporarily closed after a crash. Fire officials say an engine was leaving Station 2 when an open door on the truck
Yep.
ripped down part of the building.
That's what happened here as well.
Engine stick is stuck halfway out of the building with caution tape around the truck. No one was injured, but emergency contractors were called in to clean up and make sure the structure and the door were stable. Residents are concerned about how this will impact the fire department, but the battalion chief said this will not impact their quick responses to emergencies. Officials said Rescue 2 will now be at Station 3 and Engine 2 will be at Station 1 down there in West Warwick. Mm-hmm. So how strong are these trucks that they can rip down buildings with just a door?
Yeah, they're sturdy. They have to be.
That's a sturdy vehicle right
Yeah,
there.
they're huge and they're heavy, and someone forgot to shut the door again.
Well, they
Yeah.
were leaving, and you think when you're the driver, and firefighters don't hang on to the back of the truck anymore.
No,
those days are
definitely
going by.
not. No.
So they hop in. One hops in the back, but they got to close their door too, and maybe they forgot, or
Yeah, it happens.
I'm.
And
Well,
you're
you don't tie the boots, but oops, sorry, Chief.
It's a
You think
little
about Maxwell Smart, Dave.
pricey,
Yeah.
pricey
Sorry.
mistake,
Sorry
but
about that,
loving
Chief.
it.
Sorry about that, Chief. Yeah, pricey mistake to the building.
Yeah.
we got to rebuild
And
it.
and
soon.
the trucks are extremely expensive to repair too.
Doesn't say if there's any damage to the truck.
I imagine there must be.
There must be something to the door.
It's got to be.
All right. So we have this other story. There's a man was arrested in Warwick. He is originally from Honduras, and he's wanted on murder charges in Honduras.
Yep.
And now they got him in Warwick.
Yep.
And now he's up with ICE officials
But
in
they've
Boston.
had him over and over again.
What do you mean they've had him over and over again?
They had him and he
Yeah,
let
they had him
go.
in jail and they let him out.
Oh, I
even
didn't know
though-
that. I
Yeah.
didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Wow.
he's been arrested for assault 2 times in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
What? Somebody doesn't check the memos.
arrested twice in Central Falls
Yep.
on assault charges. So-
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. So
Just a bad guy.
They've had him in custody over and over again, and nobody put 2 and 2 together and,
Until now.
and held on to him for the feds.
well, the feds have got him now. So
Yeah. Bye bye.
Will you think he'll be deported?
He'll be back next year.
Yeah, we'll send him back, and
That's the problem
he'll
with
find his
deporting,
way.
you see.
Is they come back.
Yeah.
We know the route the first time. We'll just do it again.
Right.
It's that's how you do it.
Well, he's been here for 3 years.
Has he? Wow.
Yeah. In trouble the entire
Entire time. Well,
Bad egg.
yeah, he was. He's a criminal down there, and he just continue his criminal ways.
Yeah,
Uh,
there are
when
criminals
it-
everywhere.
when he gets here. All right. A decision on the Washington Bridge soon.
Yeah, we've heard that.
What's soon? Well, week.
We've
2
heard that
weeks?
it's going to be soon. Not.
I've heard that since
and
the
then it
beginning of the
wasn't.
year.
And yeah, it wasn't. It's not been soon.
Well, your idea of soon and my idea of soon are so
Right, it's
subjective.
subjective. Right, right. Open to interpretation.
Yeah, my idea of soon is like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Well, ours is 2 or 3 months.
Right.
So we just keep waiting.
I'll be back soon. What does that mean? It doesn't mean I'll be back in 2 or 3 months. It means like I'm going out for lunch or something.
This is funny. Growing up, I must have been 18 or so at the time. And this way, you got to be specific on these things. So I'm heading out. Now, my parents did not give me a curfew. All right? They said, be home at a reasonable time.
Yes, at a reasonable hour.
Okay. I found out that 2 in the morning was not
Not
reasonable.
reasonable.
The hard way.
Well,
Well, I
yeah,
thought-
you
I-
probably could have figured that out.
I thought it was reasonable. I was having a good time wherever I was. Not
I
doing
think you took
anything,
some liberties
not
with that
doing
one.
anything illicit or anything like that. But to me, it's like, all right, as long as if I know I'm safe, everything is fine.
Right. And
Well-
meanwhile, we're using the bridge or driving over the bridge, and everything is fine and it's
Mm-hmm.
safe, but it wasn't then, and it's not good messaging. It's really frustrating, and we don't know what
So soon
we're gonna
is-
do or how much it's gonna cost.
Soon is Peter Alviti said the final engineering reports will be reviewed in the next week.
Okay.
So is that this week or next week?
Only he knows,
In the next week, I'm sorry, in the next week or so.
or so.
So,
Yeah.
all right. So this is not this week. This is next week. And
Yeah.
the decision made on whether to repair the existing structure or build a new bridge will also be made this week or next or so. After we review everything. So, it's again, it is hurry up and wait, and we'll let you know when we let you know.
It's so frustrating, and
Yeah.
fortunately, I don't have to go that way, but many people do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just an extra 7 or 8 minutes as we were told.
No.
Even just going to run an errand over there,
it
it took
30 minutes?
quite. Oh yeah,
At least?
yeah.
Okay.
Each
And-
way, and it just depends. It's not even. It could be any time of day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's really no like window anymore. Coming back over to this side, there was an accident, and it was going to be 20 minutes to get across the bridge.
No, I'm not saying hurry up and get this done tomorrow.
Right, do
I
it the
know-
right way,
I know
but
you have to do it the right way. It's just
people need to plan their lives,
yeah,
and their businesses.
just know that it is frustrating to the Rhode Islanders.
Yeah, but you're trading 2 or 3 months against a year and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And in order to try to save a year and a half, against the chance you could use part of what was there before, it's just a logical choice. We'll wait 2 or 3 months and sit here in frustration, not doing anything but seeing which the best way to go is.
All right. So we just and we're lucky we don't. Doesn't really affect anything.
Yeah.
Up
Oh, sure
here,
it does.
unless people try to get up here, it affects
Or
that.
if you're trying to go
Yeah, it
there.
does.
or try to go down there. But,
Yeah.
but for the most part, it's
I
not
got a place I
really,
go to in East Providence regularly.
Yeah. And you go over the
Imagine how
bridge?
much fun it is for the A.B. Monroe drivers.
Not
boy.
much. Trying to get the milk out of.
That's right.
ah,
Difficult.
terrible.
And then trying to get back home again
Yeah. At a reasonable time.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's going to be lighter at night when they try to get home.
because they're in East Providence,
What part of East Providence are they in the morning?
Brow Street.
Is that
Pretty close-
near
pretty
Newport
close.
Avenue, or is it?
No, pretty
the
close
bridge?
to pretty close to 195.
Oh well, okay. All right, so that's we hurry up and wait on the bridge. So if you bought any of those cinnamon products, cinnamon rolls, cinnamon products at the
Dollar Tree, Family Dollar.
saves a lot. That is another discount
Yeah,
store.
it is.
They don't even bring them back for a discount. They just say throw them away.
Yeah, throw them away. We don't want them.
They're just no good. There's too much lead.
Yeah.
Too much lead in the cinnamon.
If you give them to
Well,
us, we're
I'm
gonna
like
have to
lead.
We're gonna have to dispose of them with Clean Harbors or something. And pay $500 per 5-gallon plastic sealed can.
So if you buy any of these kind of cinnamon products, La Fiesta, Markham, MK, Swad, Supreme, Tradition, or El Chilar, don't eat it.
Don't eat it.
Too much lead in the cinnamon.
How does that even happen?
It says elevated levels of lead, which means there is an acceptable amount of lead that's in there. That's okay. We've
So
just
someone
gone
had
over it.
Presumably, someone tests the product before it gets
Yes.
bottled or used
Or
on a
packaged, yeah.
baked good, right? And they said, oh well, this is close, but it's okay. But then all of a sudden, it's not.
All of a sudden, this is too much.
Yeah.
We can't have 10 milligrams of lead. 5 is okay. 7's okay.
But the cinnamon,
Ten's
the
too
cinnamon
much.
buns are already packaged and out the door and in the stores.
Yes. So please take them off the shelves, and if you bought them, throw them away. 'Cause
Don't give them to kids, please.
They won't be good for you.
Yeah.
So Rhode Island's unemployment rate was 3.6%. This bugs Dave a lot. This is great. Up 0.2% from December. And the number of jobless Rhode Islanders increased by 1,300 to 20,900. The number of those working was 557,600. And the jobless rate nationally was 3.7%, unchanged from December. But what isn't it telling you, Dave? The jobless rate.
Oh, it's not telling you how many jobs were lost.
That's right.
I mean, story after story. 5,000 layoffs here, 5,000 layoffs there, 2,000 layoffs over there. My goodness. It's not saying anything about the people who lost their jobs. It's, oh, gosh, we put 275,000 jobs out there. Right.
Don't let the facts get in the way of a good story, Dave.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this is,
It's propaganda. Isn't that what they called it?
I don't know.
Over in Germany, when they kept
I don't think they did
giving
the
you
jobless
only
rate
half
over
the
there.
news, it was called propaganda, wasn't it?
Yes.
And they kept just feeding the German citizenry with all the good news and no bad news. Mm-hmm. And you only got one side of the story, and that's the way they wanted to do it.
The war is working out just fine.
And
That's
and
what
yet,
dictators do.
Yeah.
so why are leaders in our country doing it? Why?
So that people
Why?
don't get nervous, so
Nervous,
that
don't get
it doesn't
upset.
affect the stock market, so that we can pretend that everything is great and people can
Yeah.
keep making money or make money off of these things.
Sorry, no sale, no sale here.
I mean, I'm being sarcastic.
I know you
Right.
are. I know you are. You're not defending them. You're simply
No.
explaining the obvious.
Yeah.
So, all right, up in Massachusetts, I'm surprised they can get away with this. The town of Brookline says they will not sell tobacco to anyone born in the 21st century. I think that should be 20th century. No. Sorry, I do have that wrong.
Yes,
and
you
they
do.
have it right.
Yeah.
Okay, they won't
We're
sell
24 years
Yeah.
into the 21st century, and they
And yet-
want to ban anyone not born in the previous century from smoking or buying cigarette
Yes.
products. In other words,
So-
it would now be not the age of 21, it's the age of 24 now.
in Brookline to buy cigarettes and tobacco. The state, I don't know how they can get away with it.
And
They
by
can't
the
do
year
that. But
3000,
But they have. And
nobody be smoking.
And the Supreme Court, Mass Supreme Court says it's fine. If they want to put the smoking age in their town at 24, they're allowed to do that and supersede the state law.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Well, they said it's okay.
But it doesn't contradict the other law. The other law specifies an age to start smoking.
So if they said, "Oh,
This
if you're
doesn't
18,
make
you can
it-
smoke," they would be like, "Oh, no, you can't do that." But
Brookline's law does not countervene the state law, which you can't do.
Right.
They don't allow it. What it does is it strengthens the state law in their community, because the state law intended to make sure people had reached an age of responsibility for themselves before they made decisions that could harm their health.
So stores in Brookline won't sell to anyone under the age of 24 tobacco products.
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
but they can just go to the next
Town over.
That's right.
But so, is it just for sales, or is there enforcement? Like if someone is vaping or smoking a cigarette, like you look 23, let me see your ID. I
Well,
don't think that's
I don't
happening.
think the cops will do that.
Right.
Their,
No.
their law.
How do you enforce that?
Yeah, their law is for the
Just for the
sale.
sales.
Yeah, the
Yes.
sale. Right.
I mean, I guess
Consumption's
didn't-
okay.
The Brookline law didn't step on any Massachusetts state toes.
Okay.
And all it did was strengthen the intent of the
expanded
Massachusetts
the,
state law, and so raised the standard. So this, of course, is okay, but it emboldens irresponsible lawmakers, like the magazine, the Rhode Island one at the Court of Appeals in
yeah,
Boston.
that upheld. Yeah.
Right. And, probably should have been. Unfortunately, the negative part of all this is that's going to go back, and the people who want to eradicate guns from the planet, how misinformed they are, will now be emboldened to do more irresponsible things to try to achieve their needs and take away the rights of law-abiding citizens, and or be emboldened to do more irresponsible acts.
Now, the store owners in Brookline, they argued they didn't want this. They want to be able to sell to someone who's 21.
Of course they do. Yeah.
They said it was unconstitutional and in conflict with the statewide law that sets the legal age of 21. But the arguments were rejected by the Supreme Judicial Court.
And just like the appeal that in Rhode Island that we just mentioned about the gun magazines, the only winners are the lawyers.
Well, yeah, that's right. All right, break time once again here on the Coffee and program. More coming your way. Got another note to get to, and we will when we come back. This weather forecast right now being brought to you by Unbound.org.
A wind advisory is in place for our area until 1 o'clock Tuesday morning. Partly sunny skies today with a high of 44, very breezy with wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 28 with northwest winds. Tuesday, sunshine and 53, diminished northwest winds. Wednesday, mostly sunny and a high of 58. Thursday, sunshine and 63. Friday, mostly cloudy and 57 with a 40% chance of rain. Saturday, partly sunny, 54. Still a chance of some showers. And Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high of 54.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. Sun's starting to shine. We have 34 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at unbound.org.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial. And he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hi, I'm Greg Bell, the host of When Radio Was.
Why, Mortimer! Bill! Is that you under that blindfold? Bill, with this thing on, I can't see who I am. No, I imagine not. Can't you see anything at all under that blindfold? On a clear day, I can see the blindfold. You can? Yeah.
When Radio Was, shows from the past for today's imaginations.
When Radio Was airs Monday through Friday, right here on ON 1240 Radio at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m.
Coffee in on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Melissa Murray. Got a note to get to right here, 766-1240. And this goes back to last Thursday on the Coffee In program, Woonsocket Mayor Chris Beauchamp was on with us that day. And the person writing in, the mayor stated that the project, the road project that's going on Hamlin Avenue, had to be suspended.
Right.
And the reason he gave was that Rhode Island Power or National Grid, whichever you want to think, couldn't fund it anymore. They ran out of money.
Can I jump right in here because we should moderate that. The mayor reported he was told.
Okay.
He didn't give a reason.
Okay.
He was just repeating
by
what he was
Rhode
told.
Island
Hey, how come it's not going to? Well, they don't have enough money to continue the project at this time, so he just accepted what he was told and relayed it to us.
Okay.
I wouldn't hang that answer on the mayor.
Okay. The person's asking, is that what his statement was? And so Dave clarified it, and so that's what he said. Rhode Island Power told him that they ran out of money to fund the project, so they had to stop it. And the writer of the note says, if this is true, I ain't buying it for 1 minute. National Grid or Rhode Island Power is loaded. Must be some kind of contractual problem. Or maybe like we can't pay the workers or something like that. So, I don't know. You got to go with what they told us. So what they told the mayor, why we stopped doing it. Until they get more money
it's
from somewhere.
enormously expensive.
Yes.
To do that kind of work. And if you're
Putting
doing
in new
it
gas
day after
lines.
day after day after day, and in that area, gosh, they had to use like 4 police officers and block off streets
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And
That's
those
money.
officers, by the hour, all that time, plus the permits, plus inconvenience and the rest of that, then you got to get a crew and pay them to dig this up, go down so and so many feet, do what they have to do, then pack it up, and then pave it again. Then later on, they're going to have to pave from curb to curb to repair the whole thing. When you stop and think of the staggering costs of doing that, you could have a situation where some other thing happened where there was a gas leak or a break or something, and it wasn't preventative maintenance, and it was something that had to be done right away, and they had to steal money out of this account to do that because there was an unbudgeted expense, and they had to steal money and juggle it around. And that's how an account for a particular project can end up with no money and has to stop. And if it was preventative maintenance or updating or that sort of thing like
This
that,
was updating.
then in that case, certainly updating isn't as important as repairing a problem, right? I mean, it's I can reason it out in my brain where there's no evil going on here. It's simply it's business.
Mm-hmm. You think they would, if they were going to go into the project, that they would know how much money they were going to need for all those extras to finish the project for that entire street. The street's this long. We need to put this much lines in the street, and this is what's going to cost.
But there could be cost overruns. There could be a problem with it's the slower project than had been predicted because, I don't know, maybe there might have things were a little less thawed underground than they expected. There's so many different things that we don't know that could contribute to that either having an overrun. But I find it easy to imagine that if they had some sort of a problem somewhere else in the state that was going to siphon a huge amount of money, and it's very important, higher priority list, then it's going to take it from the maintenance programs.
And the workers also.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, their workers would have to go to that project. Whatever the mayor was told, he reported to us, and you got to kind of go along with it.
All right. Over in Massachusetts, during their presidential primary, which was last week.
Last Tuesday. It was the Tuesday.
Super Tuesday.
25% of registered voters in Massachusetts took part in the presidential primary.
Yeah,
not bad.
You might think that's a little low, but
well, about half were mail-in or in-person early voting, which is why I don't do it and go vote on that day because now it's not crowded.
Yeah.
And so over 600,000 Democrats and about 500,000 Republicans cast their ballot. Second highest turnout of Republican voters in the state, behind only the 2016 turnout. So not bad. I guess 25% is considered good.
These
for
days
a primary,
it is.
For a primary.
Yeah, but sadly that is considered really good in a primary.
Yeah. So I expect at least the same amount in November to come out and vote.
I would hope so.
Well, yeah. Plus there'll be other things to vote on.
Yeah.
During that time as well.
You think?
Well, your own town.
In November?
Ballot questions, things like that.
You're talking about November.
I am talking about November, yeah.
President.
I know, but some people are just not. If it was just the presidential, with the two guys coming up, there's just so many people. Doesn't really matter who wins.
Well,
There are
yeah.
a lot
does,
of course it does, but there are a lot of apathetic voters.
Yeah,
so-
I've heard people say that. It doesn't matter anymore. Just an old white guy gets in. I've heard that. I've heard it.
Yeah.
You must have heard it.
I have.
It's like,
It matters, people.
well, of course it does, but a lot of people is like, nah. I've seen this movie, and
oh yeah, I know. This is the sequel.
It's a sequel to we already
So-
had this one. Is the ending going to change? Doesn't really matter.
I will reserve
Everything
my
changes.
comments.
Everything changes. The clocks are an hour ahead,
of
Joe.
course. Of
yeah,
course.
yeah, yeah.
So we had the death of an inmate at the ACI.
Yeah.
That always causes consternation and
Well, that
and
sort
a
of thing
ruckus.
happens, with some regularity.
Well, yeah, people that have been put in for life.
Right.
That's what it means.
yeah.
Their sentence is up.
Yeah, that's right.
Doesn't make the news.
I don't think this is one of those situations, though. Death of an inmate at the ACI is being investigated. Unidentified inmate reportedly suffering from a medical emergency at 2 in the morning on Saturday morning. They went to Rhode Island Hospital, where he later passed away. So the RIDOC, Department of Corrections, and the state police, they're in charge of the investigation.
Used to happen
Yeah,
a
they
couple
had- that
times a
has
month
to
in
happen.
Walpole.
Yeah. Doesn't sound like where an assault where one turns on an inmate turns on another.
It could be anything, right? 2
Could be
o'clock in the
stroke,
morning.
could be
Could
heart
be
attack.
right. But they have to fully investigate because
blockage of some sort.
That's what they have to do.
So that's what's going on down there. You talked about the latest gun control victory here in Rhode Island. They upheld the state's ban on the large capacity
It's like
magazines.
popping
Yep.
the cork on another bottle for the drunken sailors.
Is that a good thing?
Well,
It depends on who you ask.
The answer-
Depends on what side you ask, right?
all entertainment answers aside, I can tell you this. These people feel very, very strongly, and you can debate the subject, certainly on its merits, one side and the other. But the people who passed this law felt very strongly that it was a moderated approach to trying to stop something that virtually everybody thought was a bad thing. And to have their work be found compliant with all laws constitutionally and then being upheld in a court is cause for, I don't know about celebration, but it's certainly cause for some good feelings for them. And we congratulate them for having done their work so well that it withstood the scrutiny of an appeal. When I look at this, I say to myself, there are so many things that need to be done that you can do something about. And then there are so many things that you can't do anything about that you still waste a lot of time trying to do something about. And that's where I part company with them. But I don't deny their sincerity.
Okay. Well, if you consider yourself to have talent in the acting world, they're looking for extras in Boston to be part of The Walking Dead.
Oh, good.
Dead City season number 2.
Right.
Filming will take place in Boston from April through July, and they're looking for soldiers, survivors, and zombies.
Ooh,
So can you
zombies.
Can you walk slow with a limp and say "Arr"?
Lots of makeup. Oh, actually,
Well, you don't
probably
have to
they
do the
just don't even
makeup.
have to do that anymore, right?
So, well, a little blood, little green makeup on it. to
But they
make you
can
look
do,
good.
they can fix that up. CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is considered
Well,
dialogue?
Zombie. You got to
Oh,
get
do
your
you get a
SAG
member?
card.
You got to get a SAG card.
I was thinking the same
Or
thing.
is it just a large group of you all
Or if
saying,
it's TV, it
"Arr,"
could be
so-
AFTRA.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do AFTRA in Boston. Oh, please.
Well, anyway, if you're interested, hey, more information's online. KendallCooperCasting.com/Boston. Send
Kendall
in
with 2 L's.
2 L's, yeah. So just send in your 8x10 glossy.
Of you and a
8.5 by
zombie
11, and zombie
making a
makeup,
zombie
making a
pose.
zombie face. And if you got not doing anything between April and July, so hey.
I could do that. And I can just picture one casting person saying to the other casting person looking at my photograph, hey, think what we save in makeup on this one.
Oh no.
Put him in the save pile.
I remember having former Mayor Lisa Waldelli Hunt here on Coffee Inn, and they were filming
Yeah.
Purge. One of the Purge movies
Yep.
was being
Downtown.
filmed downtown.
Yeah.
And I said, Mayor, pull some strings. I want to be in it. I want to play a dead body on the ground. Talk about easy. Lay there, don't breathe, go.
A lot more
Hold your
difficult
breath
than you
in.
might
Well,
think.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
If you
Many actors have told me that.
can't, tough to play dead.
Oh, it's tough to play dead. It-
Well, I want to be face down. See?
and the reason is
You get to
so
choose.
difficult is that when people die, it is often not like it looks like on the screen.
Yeah.
But when you're on the screen dying, you have to try to play up reality without going over the top, and that takes work.
Well, I don't want to play dying. I just want to be. They've come. Something's happened, and we got bodies on the ground. I'll just be one of the bodies on the ground.
Okay.
See how easy that is?
Yeah, don't blink.
Don't blink. Don't breathe.
Don't move.
Don't twitch.
I saw.
No scratching an itch.
I saw Denise was watching the John Wayne movie of the week
All right.
yesterday. She was watching it, and in the character that John Wayne's playing is a Navy military man, and he falls down a flight of stairs and breaks his neck. He's paralyzed.
Wow.
And they get the shot looking down the stairs at him, and you can see his arm is moving. And I said to myself, he's supposed to be paralyzed. He's not doing a good job.
Come on, Duke, get it right. All right, more Coffee and coming your way. We ask you to please stay tuned.
Guiding and assisting a family as they honor and celebrate the life of someone they love is our mission at Menard Locouture Funeral Homes. From personalized memorial cards, video tributes, to individual requests, such as the presence of sporting gear or even a motorcycle in front of the funeral home, we are able to walk with you as you make decisions at a difficult time. As you plan a loving remembrance for one close to you, Menard Locouture Funeral Home will be there for you.
What would you do with $300 in cash? To find out, play the Valley Breeze ON Radio Squares contest all this week, exclusively in the Valley Breeze newspapers and right here on ON AM and FM radio.
It is Coffee and this is Joe Callahan along with Melissa Murray and with Dave Richards. And it is time to call out, because we forgot to do it about 15 minutes ago, another Radio Squares from game card number 2. And it is in Melissa's hands right now. So what business would
Inform
you care
us.
to call out?
This business is, and it's in the right hand area of your Radio Squares card, and it
Game
is
card number 2.
game card number 2. Make sure you're looking at game card number 2 in the Valley Breeze. Inferno Audio. Inferno
right.
Audio is this
Inferno
ours.
Audio.
Say hi to Keith
Radio
when you go
Squares.
to Inferno Audio.
Oh yeah, I said hi to Keith. I said,
And his kids.
Keith, I bought a used car. I only got one key with it. He said, we can fix that.
Now you get 2?
Oh, now we got 2 keys.
Excellent. So Inferno Audio, cross that one off, and we'll call out another one about 9:30 this morning here on ON Radio. Well, last night were the Oscars. Anybody watch?
No.
Another crickets. Okay.
I found out all about it when I got up this morning
That's
and
right.
saw all the reviews.
Oppenheimer did very well.
Yeah.
7 Oscars last night out of 13 nominations. My daughter has seen this movie. She says it's very good if you like historical pictures. So there you go. All about the guy that invented or came up with the.
He organized and supervised the project
Project.
that tested
bombs.
and perfected
Yeah.
the process of making a bomb, an atomic bomb.
So they got Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting Actor, Best Original Score, Best Cinematography, and Film Editing as well. So congratulations to them.
Yeah, people don't realize, but an editor can make or break a film.
Oh, yeah.
Serious.
Emma Stone won her second Oscar for Best Actress.
Well, we'll be seeing her on Saturday Night Live soon.
Why, really? Why?
Whenever they're doing movies and stuff like that,
Oh,
they
all
always
right.
get people on. Emma's a favorite at Saturday Night Live.
All right.
She may be coming back for her 5th jacket.
And Ryan Gosling and the Barbie cast did take the stage to sing the song "I'm Just Ken," and you really need to see the movie to understand why this is such a hit. I think it's kind of silly, but
They didn't win anything, but they got
but
put
here-
on stage.
It didn't win Best Song. Oh, and they didn't win Best Song.
Right.
Best Original Song for "What Was I Made For." All right. And
Okay.
but "I'm Just Ken" was the showstopper last night. So
Okay.
Good for them. Is making a lot of money off of it, and my daughter thinks the song's great. So
Well, the public wanted to see, I'm sure, Barbie take all the awards,
yes,
but the
They- it
motion
looks like they
picture
didn't take any. Huh?
yeah, motion picture actors group did not think so. The MPA was not in favor.
Nope, not at all. Okay. Well, if you happen to, we're coming into spring break time, and it starts anytime from now, goes to about mid-April or so. So if you're mostly this is for the college students. If you're heading to Texas, to the beach, there's that little area that's right along the coast. The researchers are warning the beachgoers down there: don't touch a bright blue and silver sea slug.
Oh no.
Yep. The 1-inch creature known as the blue dragon sails on the ocean's surface and feeds on toxins. The sea slugs may be tiny, but a marine biologist warns that their sting feels like needles scraping across your skin, and the pain can last up to 3 hours. They can sting in the water or even after they come ashore and die. Blue dragons...
Same as certain jellyfish.
Blue dragons, well, people are always warned about jellyfish. These are much smaller. Oh, aren't they cute?
Right.
So the blue dragons live in the Indian, Pacific, and Atlantic Oceans, but their habitat is expanding, according to an advocacy group called American Oceans. So,
Well, it's like this. Once you're in the Indian Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, and the Atlantic Ocean,
they all run together?
You got most of the world taken care of already.
So and they're in all the oceans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's probably worse than it sounds like it's worse than a jellyfish sting. I've gotten stung by jellyfish a couple times. But they were just little babies. One got me on my neck.
Did it last 3 hours? The pain?
No, no. I mean, maybe an hour or two. Like it was like bothersome, but
Thought you was gonna die.
it was. I thought I was bitten by a horsefly actually because
Oh.
I wasn't even thinking.
Those guys
That's not
hurt.
fun.
Yeah, those hurt.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, but it was just a little baby, so fortunately, they got a couple of little stings.
Did you smack it?
Oh, I didn't even see it.
Oh, okay.
No,
It got you and then went away?
Teeny tiny. No, I didn't. I was like, God, I just got bit by a horsefly. No, it was a little baby jellyfish.
See, Dave's too old. He doesn't see these. You don't see the Disney movies anymore.
Yeah, I don't. No.
All right.
Nicole's grown up.
But in the Finding Nemo
Right.
movie, they have to swim through the two fish have to swim through the jellyfish field to get to the other side.
Oh.
And they realize, hey, if you bounce along the top of the jellyfish, that part doesn't sting you.
Right.
So they do that, but they end up getting stung anyway. And then there's a turtle that kind of revives them after they get stung because they passed out. And boy, take it on the jellies. You guys got terrible thrill issues. That's what you're doing for fun. All right, you know what today is?
Monday. The
That's
11th.
right. It's Monday, March 11th.
Didn't think I knew, huh?
Today is National Promposal Day.
Promposal. Oh no. All right, so
Is
this
this
is the
different
day.
than Sadie Hawkins Day?
Slightly. It's because proms are coming up, and you gotta prepare and
But it's
like
only
that.
March. Aren't proms in May?
You know how long
Some-
it takes to save up for those dresses and suits?
Some could be in April. Some
To
schools
say
get
nothing
some
of the
sch-
cost of a corsage.
Some schools get out in May, like Florida schools get out in May, so their prom's going to be in April.
Right. So you better have your date nailed down today,
Yes.
right?
But have you seen what it's come to nowadays?
No.
That's why it's called a promposal. Some people go through great lengths. It's all a big production, and I've seen it. I saw it at McCoy Stadium, and I've seen it at Polo Park. Up on the big board, the big video board. Marie, will you go to the prom with me? Tom.
So much pressure. It's just
It's-
kids. They're just kids.
And so now you got to get the girl to be at the game and like that. And will she say yes? I don't know.
Right.
So
Better be prepared for.
it's coming down to it's like a wedding proposal, just to go to the prom.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest regret, I think, was going to the prom with someone that I was dating at the time. I wish I had just gone with a friend because it was just like so much pressure, and I just wanted to like chill out and have a good time, and it wasn't any fun at all.
And times have
I
changed.
hope my date's not listening.
And times have changed so much, where now my daughter's going. She doesn't have a date, but she's going to the prom.
Right, you can just
And
go
you
now.
you
I
just go.
wish. I wish.
You go and you get
Yep,
together
go with a
group
bunch of friends. Yeah,
and
why
you
not?
just go. You didn't have to. When I went, you had to put down your name and who your date was. And
Yep,
and-
right.
I mean, there's still some rules. If you are bringing a date, they've got to fill out some form, and there's rules to them. Especially if they're not a student at the school. If they're outside the school, it's fine as long as they're 20 and younger.
20.
Yes, that's the rule. That's this school's rule.
Okay.
20 and under. No one over 21.
Why 20 seems a bit.
Because they can buy liquor.
Well, I know, but
21-year-olds.
20 seems a bit old.
But
too for like somebody's senior prom or junior prom because
Well, the way my daughter's school goes, the junior and senior prom are the same prom.
okay.
So there are seniors there. So there could be seniors dating some boy or
They're
girl
not
in
20,
college.
though.
What's that?
Oh, right. I guess.
Right.
And
But nobody 21 or older because they can buy
that's
liquor.
right.
Well, of
That's
course.
exactly
Right.
right. And also, if the person you are dating happens to be in the military, yes, it's okay if they come in their full military dress. No sidearms, please.
No,
Of course. Yeah.
But they have to put that on in the okay thing.
Well, unless
So-
they're on duty, they're not supposed to be wearing their sidearms if they're in military.
Well, right, but they put it in just in case. No sashes, no swords.
The only time you
No swords, please.
I think I have this right. The only time when you're in uniform, off duty, off base, the weapons are only used for parade dress, or if you're in imminent. If being called into active service is imminent, like if you're a National Guard and you were being sent somewhere. That's when you have your weapons with you, but it's not normal to wear your. It's not. Cops wear their weapons a lot more than military people off duty.
Yeah.
Okay, Melissa's not going to remember this, but Dave is certainly going to remember it. Remember it, Dave?
I do.
1980.
What?
Yeah. What was it?
1980, Cumberland High.
Oh yeah.
Two guys wanted to go to the prom together.
That's
It made national news.
That's right.
National news.
It's what a shame that was.
People magazine
Yeah.
came, and my older brother went to that prom with a girl. With a girl.
Yep.
He wasn't part of the fiasco that it was, but it made national that two guys were going, and now
Yep.
it's
They
it's
tried.
44 years later.
They tried
Yeah.
to
Now
be
it's-
open-minded and do the right thing for
Nope.
everybody.
No, they tried to stop it first.
I'm sure.
That was the problem, Dave.
Well, you know something.
you
Now
had,
that you
you had
mentioned
to
that,
put down your
But-
date's name.
but at the end,
Principal said no.
they
The
tried to be-
superintendent said no. They got
Right.
the ACLU involved,
Yeah.
and they had to back down.
Yeah.
Okay, here they come, and so it was big news.
yeah.
Yep.
At the time.
But that was all before it made national news.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that was 44 years ago, and they had to have police presence.
Of course.
And every time they got up to dance, there was a ring of teachers that had to surround them on
That
the
is
dance
just-
floor.
ugh.
Well, they were worried they were going to get
Yeah.
jumped, and nothing happened at the actual event, according to my brother. Nothing happened there. They did leave early.
Yeah.
He remembers that.
Yeah, I would have too.
Because it was just very tense. It cut the tension with a knife kind of thing. Because there was too much else going on. There were way too many adults there, and the media were outside. It was just a free for all. I forgot where it took place. I forgot where they actually went.
Yeah. I'm not remembering that either.
But anyway, all right. So that happened 44 years ago. So
It's funny how your memory softens, though. I remember the big media frenzy and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
I remember the difficulty. They said, no, we have to do this, and we have to allow this, and all. I didn't remember that they tried to stop it earlier, but you reminded me.
could have
And yes, I
imagined,
do
yeah.
remember that now.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the big story then. When they were denying it, it wasn't the big story.
yeah, it wasn't until the ACLU
Right.
jumped in.
I can imagine a scenario like even okay, I graduated in '92.
All right.
If there had been a same-sex couple at one of my proms, I can imagine a scenario where the school would have said, "No, you can't do that." That wouldn't have happened even in '92.
But there were precedent had been sent by Cumberland High.
It doesn't.
We have to
It
allow
doesn't.
this now.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
the
matter. That
ACLU
was
is
the
gonna
that
get
was the
involved.
right, but it was not accepted. And I remember the
no.
first time that I went back to Woonsocket High School as an adult, and I walked in the building, and it said, "Everyone here is accepted." It was like written on the wall of the school. This blew my mind because you just didn't do this back then. and I graduated, 30-something years ago. Everyone is accepted, gay or straight, no matter what religion you are, blah, 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 blah. It probably didn't say religion. It probably, but I was like, I can't believe this is on the wall of the high school. I couldn't imagine a high school in my time when I was at the high school where I would ever be able to come out and feel like I had anyone that had my back. So that was 92.
Well, back then in 80, the guy went to Cumberland High, Aaron something, and his date was older. He wasn't at Cumberland High. So my brother told me this, that when Aaron had to go from class to class, had to be escorted by teachers, or a couple of teachers for the rest of the school year. And
because people wanted to beat him up just because he was gay.
Yes. Well, and he brought such negative light onto the school that didn't need to happen. And one student did get him and punched him in the face. I think he got suspended or expelled or something like that. And I remember when I got to the high school a few years later, one of the teachers that was doing the escorting talked about the kid that punched the gay student in the face. And they said the guy that did the punching, his name was Sherman something. They said Sherman wasn't wrapped too tight.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's stuff that happened a long time ago.
That's stuff that happened, and we can't imagine that happening now for that reason, but...
Aaron Frick. Thanks, Tim.
There you go.
Tim Draper sent me a note. Aaron Frick was the name of the student that started it all. Well, someone has to start it, right?
Someone does, right? Someone has to lead the way.
Yeah, and that was him. All right, we've run out of time. Thank you very much for listening in, everyone. Dave Richards, thanks for coming in.
Hey, it's been a great time.
All right, and Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me. Happy Monday, everybody.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Leslie Page at the Libraries coming up. Then Food First with Karen Zangari. It's next on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
There's a casting call for extras to appear in a movie, The Walking Dead, Dead City Season 2, which will be filming in Boston and scheduled from April through July.